Dark Souls 2? It can't be!
Doing no leveling run on me, you little bag of shit.
Never! Never!
Oh yeah? We'll see about that.
Okay, I'll do it. Dark Souls 2. Well, I guess it's finally time for this one. Now I want to state something very clearly before I do this. I do not hate Dark Souls 2. Are there certain aspects and areas that I think are awful in this game? Yes, absolutely. But there are some good elements as well. It's been super interesting reading the comments under the worst boss runbacks video. There's been a lot of people jumping to Dark Souls 2's defense with some pretty interesting points. I can't say that I agree with all of them, honestly. I've seen a couple defending the frigid outskirts, which blows my mind as I've always felt this was the most inexcusable and offensive area ever created. But, and this is the most important part, I'm glad people have these opinions as it makes discussion of these games a super rich and worthwhile endeavour. If Dark Souls 2 is your favourite game, that's cool. If you didn't enjoy Dark Souls 2 at all, that's also cool. Neither is wrong, it's all subjective anyway, so let's all respect what people like and don't like. I'm somewhere in between, as genuinely I think this game has good and bad points. This is mainly meant to be an opportunity to laugh at my suffering more than anything, but there will be points where I point out the good and bad of Dark Souls 2, but remember, it's all just my opinion. Anyway, back to the task at hand. Of all the FromSoft games, this is the one I've been dreading doing a no leveling run on. You might remember before I did a no armor fist weapons only run of this game earlier on my channel, which I actually didn't finish because honestly it was kind of boring and I wasn't that invested. Well, now it's time to finally do one of my most classic runs on the most polarizing Souls game. I genuinely hope you enjoy this video, and of course let me know in the comments and like and subscribe if you do. The main reason this one scares me is the notoriously bad hitboxes and the adaptability stat. For those that don't know, Dark Souls 2 actually has a stat which determines how much invincibility you have when you roll, and as I won't be leveling up, my ability to do this is going to be greatly hampered as a result. I'm not going to do anything too crazy beyond these two rules: no leveling up and no armor. No armor actually makes a bigger difference than usual in this game, mainly because there's a lot of stat boosting armors in here which I simply won't be able to use, including some which boost adaptability, which would be mega useful, but hey, that's too easy for me. I'll aim to kill all of the bosses, the only exception might be Dark Lurker, just because the requirements to get there are such bullshit, and I can't be bothered to farm effigies, sorry. So, here we go. This is going to be brutal, but it's got to be done. There's only one classic character who can do this, my old classic, Mr. Derp. After listening to this bullshit try-hard dialogue telling you how you're going to die a whole bunch of times, seriously, let the difficulty speak for itself. Anyway, I realised the level 1 class in this actually starts with no weapon whatsoever. I thought I could kill this woman for a ladle, but I got nothing except a criminal record for whatever the hell this back attack is. We're off to a good start. I have to say, one of my favourite moments in not just this game but the whole franchise is when you can hear this roaring sound and you come out of the cave to see that it's this beautiful ocean with this great sunset in the background, and it's a great lead into my favourite hub area of the series, Majula. This just has such a different feel and look to anywhere else in the Souls series, and I really like it. I think this is a really strong start to the game. After scoring the Estus Flask from the Emerald Herald, I go around looking for a weapon. There's a Morning Star here, maybe I can jump for it. Yeah, fucking great. I finally get it, but of course I don't actually have the stats to wield it. The blacksmith's house still isn't open, so I can't buy anything from him, and this guy here only sells shields, which I can't wield anyway, so that's also no good. Wow, this is not looking positive so far. I guess I'll need to head to the Forest of Fallen Giants and try and find something. Even trying to explore this area and get the items leads to several deaths already. And what a generous game Dark Souls 2 suddenly becomes. It gives me not one, but two broken straight swords. I can even power stance them. Epic stuff. Surprisingly, the damage is not very good, but at least it's something for now. I tried to further explore here, but it led to yet more deaths. I'll definitely need a better weapon if we're going to proceed through further. Jesus, look what 10 minutes of playing Dark Souls 2 has done to Mr. Derp. This game should honestly be illegal. I think it's given him a terminal illness here. Finally, after what seems like forever, we buy the hand axe from Melentia, and it's not bad, honestly. We also managed to go back and open up the blacksmith, buy the mace, and upgrade it as well. So, which one is better? Well, from looking at the stats, the hand axe seems to have more points and is faster, but it would seem enemies here are actually weaker to strike damage, which is what the mace does. Check the hand axe damage on this turtle guy. Now, here's the mace. It's a huge difference. So, onto the last giant, and guess what? I died to the bloody last giant. Stun locked like a bitch here. Second time lucky though, I guess, and our first boss is down. Things are starting to pick up a little. So let's head back and... Wait, did that turtle knight just fall down from above? Weird. So we go upgrade the axe and the mace, and now onto the pursuer. I died on my first attempt here due to carelessness, but then I remembered this is Dark Souls 2, and circling round to the right is a viable option for a lot of bosses. The pursuer is dead. Now, we've got a bunch of souls, but as we're not leveling, I buy as much stuff from Melentia as I can. Maybe she can buy herself some new clothes now? One great thing I love about Dark Souls 2, and I mentioned it earlier a bit, is that it has some bright and colourful landscapes that you don't see in the other games. Unfortunately, this moment of awe is short-lived as this area absolutely sucks. So, I went to kill the Dragon Rider first. I actually embarrassingly died to him here. Second attempt I downed him, but I forgot that killing him makes the white hide knights in the area become active, and thus getting to the old dragon slayer becomes much more difficult, especially because they decided to randomly whack this red drake in here for the Scholar of the First Sin edition. I really want to get there though, as the Ring of Binding is outside this door, which will make us lose less health when we're hollow. Trying to kill all these guys was truly dreadful, easily the worst part of the run up to this point. Also, look at this, my mace manages to stagger the guy, but he's able to respond super quickly with a counterattack that I don't have time to avoid. Why even have a stagger at all if it's just to my detriment? After many deaths, I finally kill them and the dragon and make it across, only guess what? Yeah, the Ring of Binding isn't there. I forgot that they moved it to outside of the Dragon Rider's room in the Scholar edition. Fantastic. Luckily, after all that, the old Dragon Slayer is pretty easy, and he goes down first try. What a crock of shit. Using the souls, I buy all of these rings from this cat merchant and then head onwards. Let's unpetrify this poor dude. You're welcome, buddy. Happy to help. You ungrateful twat. We make it here, and what's this? A Dragon Covenant summon for some guy called Dropshot Reaper X? Yeah, come on dude, let's do this. Okay, nobody saw that. It didn't happen. It didn't happen. One cool mechanic I like here is having the Pharos Lockstone slot, which turns the lights on everywhere, scaring away all these monsters. Anyone think these guys look like the monsters from A Quiet Place? These guys seem to be much less intelligent though. After whacking this guy off a cliff and then voluntarily deciding to follow him, I do what any sensible person would do in this situation. Try for a rematch with Dropshot Reaper. I'm gonna get you this time, bro. Yeah, have some of this mace, you... Ah, fuck. Damn it. Well, I could have a... you know what? No, not this time. I've got other things I need to do. Okay, so important question with this boss. Does it have an anus? Could someone feasibly give it a blumpkin, or is it biologically impossible? These are the questions. After a leisurely boat ride to the Lost Bastille, just try and guess what we find. This guy again! Is he stalking me here? Okay, we are going to get him this time. Let's see if I can get the jump on him. Wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it. Oh crap, he saw me. He's wearing that poison moth stuff as well. Heal, heal, heal. Ow, ow, ow. Oh god, oh god. I hate this guy. I hate this guy so much. Speaking of things I hate, these dog enemies. It's enough to make Mr. Dirt breathe like Darth Vader. I always struggle here getting this barrel to roll down and smash the wall. It's right nearby it now, but I've got no firebombs to blow it up. Wait, will the torch work? Can I use that? Oh my god, that actually worked. I'm blown away. Literally. Now, onto the Rune Sentinels. I actually thought this was going to be savage, but the mace does some pretty great damage here, and they go down quite easily. Well, that's at least one annoying gank boss out of the way, but it sure won't be the last. We get the mace and the hand axe up to +6, and take out another pursuer just for the lols. I remember when I used to struggle with this guy, but you can basically just walk around most of his attacks. So you know the Lost Sinner is next, but... Wait, what's happening there? Whoa, oh my god, that dude skydived and then became one with the lift. Gotta love this Dark Souls 2 jank sometimes. So anyway, as I was saying, Lost Sinner. This would be a big step up in difficulty, and it involved all the things I had feared about Dark Souls 2. The lack of rolling iframes and the dodgy boss hitboxes all came into play here. I opted for the hand axe as it was faster than the mace, and speed is really important here as the Lost Sinner can jump away very quickly when you try to attack. Eventually, I managed to adapt enough to the movement and achieve victory, but this was a sign of things to come, and those things did not look positive. Now we head on to Huntsman's Copse and a pretty notorious boss runback. I don't know what the hell happened here, this guy just became a living statue. Anyway, in the comments of my top 10 FromSoft boss runbacks video, this was one of the most mentioned, and many people asked how this didn't make the list. Well, let me talk about it now. I used to think this was one of the worst also. I killed these enemies so many times when I first played the game, and yeah, it was a matter of luring them one by one, which is long and time consuming. However, I recently found a way to actually make this a lot easier. Firstly, just run by all of the enemies. The only issue you might have is with the guy right at the end, but with a well-timed roll you can get past. Then, run up the bridge and jump onto the ledge on the left-hand side before the fog gate. Most of these guys just walk off the bridge because they can't figure out how to get to you. If you were doing a normal leveling run, you could bring Homeward Bones, and this would be a great way to farm souls for level ups, and also a quick way to kill and despawn them. You could probably get it done in about 20 minutes with this method. Is this a little cheesy? Maybe, but come on, look at this run back. If the game is going to hit you with this level of bullshit, you've just got to bullshit it right back. Now, I know you're all going to say it still leaves this red phantom guy at the fog gate, and yeah, it is pretty unfair that they put this guy right in front of it. But you can either lure him down the bridge and then run past to the fog gate, which is not too bad, or, as he doesn't respawn, trick him into rolling off the bridge for an easy way to clear him out. Thus, this run is made way easier. Again, I know there's going to be a bunch of people saying that this was cheese, but why create unnecessary aggro for yourself here? Treat yourself to some nice camembert from time to time, my friends. Anyway, onto this boss. I actually like this one. I think it's a cool creative design and very unique. After one pretty unlucky death where he trapped me against the wall, this two-headed horsey goes down. Obviously, I don't really care on this run, but as a general point, I wish there was more of a cool reward for killing this boss. I know you get the PvP Covenant, but I don't PvP, so it doesn't really mean much to me. So, finally moving on past the undead lockup, I found this hidden alcove here. There's a few enemies guarding something. This item's gotta be good. Flame Butterfly. Totally worth it. Skeleton Lords. Again, I thought this was gonna suck, but actually it was very easy. The skeletons here feel way nerfed compared to Dark Souls 1, and they all go down kinda effortlessly. Things have been pretty smooth for a bit here. Well, on to yet another painful area. Is this poison pool really necessary to have right outside the bonfire entrance? For God's sake, man, why don't you just come to my house and punch me in the balls while you're at it? So, we slay this Jabba the Hutt demon and upgrade the weapons to +7, including our brand new magic mace, which I think will come in very handy. After making some new friends, we come to one of the most cryptic and criticized parts of Dark Souls 2, setting this metal windmill on fire. I'm really curious, did anybody figure out how to do this without either looking it up or reading a message from another player saying try torch? Is there anything anywhere in the game that tells you this might work? I'm genuinely curious to know, so please share in the comments if you do know anything on this. Anyway, on to Mitha. After a pretty embarrassing insta-death, are you sensing a theme here? We take her down to, again she's not too tough. Now, here's the other most criticized part of this area. If you look at it from the outside, it's a giant windmill which doesn't really look like it's connected to anything. But after Mitha, you take a long elevator upwards and come out into this lava area. A lot of people heavily criticize this, and while I agree it doesn't make a whole lot of sense, I honestly never noticed this until people pointed it out relentlessly online, and it doesn't really bother me that much. What does bother me though is the Iron Keep area. This fucking sucks. You know, I think I made a huge mistake leaving the Red Smelter Demon runback off my top 10 boss runback list. I had honestly forgotten how awful this area is. There's a total of 15 different night enemies that can attack you between the bonfire and the fog gate, and 3 different NPC invaders that can come in as well. Some of these knights have a crazy aggro range also. Look at this guy legging it all the way from the other room. How did he even see me? This is insane. There's literally no way I can get through the fog gate for Smelter Demon, so I'm going to have to do the most classic of Dark Souls 2 tactics. Farm the enemies till they all despawn. This was not easy and still resulted in several deaths, but sometimes the knights seemed to take pity on me and help me by willingly falling to their own deaths. Even one of the phantoms went down here. So at long last, with all the knights despawned, we can have a crack at the Smelter Demon, and it's the hardest fight in the game so far. I decided to go do a bit of prep for this and grab the Flame Quartz Ring +1 from the Flame Salamander pit earlier in the game. Seriously though, these salamanders are crazy OP. Their attacks are so powerful they cause me to break the laws of gravity. I eventually managed to grab this thing to negate some of that fire damage, and I still get smashed by Smelter Demon. I think more damage might help, so I head back to Harvest Valley and... Wait a minute, is the poison pool gone? Is this because of burning the windmill? Wow, I learned something new about this game today. Gotta love these little touches of Dark Souls 2. So anyway, I burn this bonfire aesthetic, grab some more Titanite chunks, and head elsewhere to grab a Titanite slab. The magic mace is now +10. It was doing around 210 damage before with a normal hit to the Smelter Demon at +7, so now let's see... Okay, it's not that much more, god damn it. This was easily the toughest fight in the game up to this point. Some of the hitboxes here were extremely dodgy. Just have a look at this one. How did he hit me there? I was determined to do this. I ran back for my next attempt of many, but then there was a plot twist. Yep, he's back. Invading me this time. I'm gonna lure him over here. Come on, come on. Yes, yes. I really suck at PvP. I hope this guy actually watches this video at some point. Fair play to him. Back to the Smelter Demon. On one try here I thought I had killed him, but it just wasn't quite enough damage and he got me. But finally, after many attempts, we bring this chunky boy down. What an ordeal. We smash up the pursuer again, but at least this time we get a good reward, the Ring of Blades +1. I was actually scared of this next bit as I remember it being awful, but it was actually a breeze compared to what I just came from. Yeah, burn baby, burn, burn baby, burn. I sort out these turtle knights and we get to the last bonfire in this area. I honestly cannot wait to be free of here. Compared to the Smelter Demon, Old Iron King was an absolute breeze. I only rolled into the lava once. So now this area is complete. Honestly, I could cry. Well, let's treat ourselves by going to a fun and enjoyable area to traverse. Nah, I'm just kidding, we're going to the gutter. Mr. Derp's so excited he's front flipping through the fucking air here. So, after some long and careful analysis, I've come to realize this area has a specific pattern to it. See if you can follow me on this one. Fall to my death, find a bonfire. Fall to my death, find a bonfire. Fall to my death, find a bonfire. Get killed by an NPC invader, find a bonfire. Get killed by an NPC invader. See how that works? There must be a hidden meaning in there somehow. Well, onto one of my favorite bosses from a visual standpoint, the Rotten. This guy looks awesome. He's not mega difficult, but he has a few unique intricacies. I finally managed to actually cut his arm off. I've never managed to achieve this before. And I also didn't realize the arm actually grew back. Dark Souls 2 has a lot of these little touches, which I do like. Anyway, Rotten is down, and we have just one great soul to go. This area is a little less bad than the previous two, although not by much. I get assaulted here by some of these reprobates. Check out this one performing the fusion dance with the wall. I basically just dash through the shaded woods, only stopping to grab the Chloranthy Ring +1, and then find Quelaag's non-union DS2 equivalent, Scorpionesh Najka. I actually nearly beat her without taking a hit, but got a bit cocky at the end and almost died. So, we've now unfortunately got to go to one of the most pointless areas, containing one of the most awful bosses of Dark Souls 2. This whole section with the Ferrous Lockstone slots really annoys me. Most of these do nothing, and if there was some kind of clever puzzle to solve to figure out which one to use, it would be great. But it just seems like trial and error, and nobody wants to risk wasting those rare stones. As such, I do what I always do, and just run through to this bonfire. Ironically, the bonfire is called Ordeal's End, but considering what boss is next, the ordeal is just beginning. At least it has the shortest boss run back in the game. If I ever make a video on worst FromSoft bosses, this is top 5 for sure. These 4 little toxic rats are so annoying, you can easily miss them with your swings and they're very quick. You only have a few seconds to kill them before the big guy jumps down, at which point if you've been toxic, you're completely fucked. Conversely, if you do manage to kill the rats, it becomes very easy. This guy is just a budget Sith and staying at his back legs pretty much negates any chance of him hitting you. There's not even much reward for this. Out of curiosity, does anybody think this is a good boss? I'd be really interested to hear any kind of defense for this, because to me, it feels like a hastily thrown together shit show, but I'd love to hear any opinions otherwise. So, onto Brightstone Cove, and one change I recognise from the original Dark Souls 2 is they moved the bonfire outside of the tent. Maybe because people would totally miss it? I could see that happening. Well, onto unnecessary and waste of time boss number 4289, the Congregation. I mean, what do you even want me to say about this one? I love that you get rewarded with a Titanite slab, like this boss merited some kind of super rare useful reward item, while a unique interesting boss like Executioner's Chariot gives some PvP only Covenant. Yes, I am still a bit salty about that. And you know what? Because I haven't spent enough time on this channel talking about boss runbacks, the Duke's Dear Freya one also sucks. It wouldn't be so bad if they didn't put this spider guy inside of this small alcove right in front of the ladder you need to go up. At the very least, you can lure the enemies around the room to get past, so you don't need to kill them all. Still a fuck about though. And so, for our last boss of part 1, we have Duke's Dear Freya, of course containing some DS2 classics like these little gank enemies in the boss fight and some terrible hitboxes. This still wasn't as bad as the Smelter Demon though, and Freya goes down after just a few attempts. So that's it. All the great souls are embraced, and that's going to do it for part 1. Thanks so much for watching guys, part 2 will be out sometime in the near future. As always, please comment, like and subscribe if you enjoyed this content, and see you next time for what is likely to be even more suffering for me. Have a good one. See ya.
Okay, fuckface. First, take a big step back and literally fuck your own face! I will rain down on a godly fucking firestorm upon you. You're gonna have to call the fucking United Nations and get a fucking binding resolution to keep me from fucking destroying you. I am talking scorched earth, motherfucker! I will massacre you! I will fuck you up!